Your past does not define you, it's a chapter, not the whole story. Too often we let regrets, failures, and old wounds chain us to what was, robbing us of what could be. But here's the truth: the power to rewrite your life begins the moment you decide to let go. It's not about erasing the past. It's about releasing its hold on you. Are you ready to stop living in yesterday and start creating your tomorrow? The time to break free is now. Fear of failure is one of the most powerful forces that holds people back from reaching their full potential. It whispers lies of inadequacy, amplifies the possibility of rejection, and convinces us that the risks are not worth the reward. But fear is deceptive. It magnifies problems, minimizes your capabilities, and paralyzes your progress. To delete the fear of failure, you must first understand its nature, confront its roots, and replace it with a mindset of courage and purpose. Fear of failure thrives in the unknown. It feeds on the uncertainty of outcomes and the possibility that things might not work out as planned. But let me ask you this: how many successful people achieved greatness without first encountering failure? Failure is not the opposite of success, it is a prerequisite for it. Every mistake, every setback, every closed door is a lesson that refines your strategy and strengthens your resolve. You must change the way you perceive failure. It is not a death sentence, it is a growth experience. If you fail, it does not mean you are unworthy or incapable, it means you are trying. Many people never start pursuing their dreams because they are afraid of what might go wrong. They worry about losing money, time, or the approval of others. But the truth is, the greatest loss is not trying at all. When you allow fear to control your decisions, you stay in the comfort zone, a place of safety, but also stagnation. Growth never happens in comfort. To delete the fear of failure, you must take bold action despite your fears. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward in spite of it. Often, the fear of failure is rooted in perfectionism. We set unrealistic expectations for ourselves and believe that anything less than perfect is unacceptable. This mindset creates an all or nothing approach that paralyzes action. Instead of striving for perfection, aim for progress. It is better to take imperfect steps toward your goal than to remain stationary, waiting for the perfect moment. There is no such thing as a perfect time to begin. The best time is now. Another cause of the fear of failure is the fear of criticism. Many people are so concerned about what others might think that they let the opinions of others dictate their lives. Remember, no one has ever achieved anything remarkable by trying to please everyone. People will always have opinions, but their opinions are not your reality. What matters most is how you see yourself and whether you are willing to pursue your vision, regardless of external judgments. Criticism often reflects the limitations of others, not your potential. To overcome the fear of failure, it is essential to reframe your mindset. Start viewing challenges as opportunities and mistakes as stepping stones. When you fail, you learn. When you fall, you discover how to rise. Failure builds resilience, shapes character, and teaches wisdom. Without it, you would never grow into the person capable of fulfilling your purpose. Think about the countless examples of individuals who have failed their way to success. Thomas Edison, when asked about his many failed attempts to create the light bulb, famously replied, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Imagine if he had given up after his first failed experiment. The world would have been a very different place. Like Edison, you must adopt a mindset of perseverance. Each failure brings you closer to your goal. Deleting the fear of failure also requires faith. You must believe that your purpose is greater than your obstacles. Trust that you are not alone in your journey and that every experience, good or bad, is part of the process designed to prepare you for what lies ahead. Faith gives you the confidence to step out, even when the path is unclear. It reminds you that your destiny is worth the risk. Take action. Fear loses its power when you confront it head-on. Start small if you need to, but start. Each step you take weakens the grip of fear and builds your confidence. The more you act, the more you realize that failure is not as terrifying as it seems. It is a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Delete the fear of failure today. You have too much potential, too many dreams, and too great a purpose to let fear hold you back. Embrace the journey and know that even when you stumble, you are moving forward. Failure is not the end, it is the beginning of growth, learning, and ultimately success. Toxic relationships are like anchors tied to your soul. They weigh you down, drain your energy, and prevent you from moving toward your purpose. Recognizing and removing toxic relationships is not an act of selfishness, it is an act of self-preservation. You cannot soar to new heights when someone is constantly pulling you down. To delete toxic relationships, you must first identify them, understand their impact, and have the courage to make the necessary changes for your own well-being. A toxic relationship is not limited to romantic partnerships. It can exist in friendships, family dynamics, professional environments, or any connection where negativity dominates. Toxic individuals often manipulate, criticize, or belittle others to maintain control or boost their own sense of worth. They thrive on sowing seeds of doubt, guilt, or fear, leaving you questioning your value and capabilities. These relationships are marked by imbalance, where one person gives endlessly while the other takes without consideration or reciprocity. One of the most dangerous aspects of a toxic relationship is its subtlety. It rarely starts with outright negativity. Instead, it may begin with small, dismissive comments, an occasional outburst, or unreasonable expectations. Over time, these behaviors escalate, eroding your confidence and self-esteem. You may find yourself making excuses for their actions or blaming yourself for their mistreatment. Toxic relationships distort your sense of reality, making it difficult to see the harm they cause. The impact of toxic relationships extends far beyond emotional pain. They affect your mental, physical, and spiritual health. Constant negativity and conflict can lead to stress, anxiety, depression, and even physical illness. Toxic relationships drain your energy, leaving you exhausted and unable to focus on your goals. They cloud your judgment, hinder your growth, and distract you from your purpose. To protect your health and your future, you must confront these relationships with honesty and courage. Deleting a toxic relationship starts with self-awareness. Take an honest inventory of your connections. Ask yourself how these relationships make you feel. Do they uplift or burden you? Do they bring joy or frustration? Do they inspire you to grow or hold you back? Be truthful in your evaluation. Sometimes the hardest thing to admit is that someone close to you may not have your best interests at heart. Once you've identified a toxic relationship, the next step is setting boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they are guidelines that define what is acceptable and unacceptable in your interactions. They communicate your values and protect your peace. Setting boundaries requires clarity and firmness. You must be prepared to enforce them, even when it is uncomfortable or met with resistance. Toxic individuals often push back against boundaries because they thrive on control. Stay firm, knowing that your peace and well-being are worth the effort. In some cases, setting boundaries may not be enough. Certain toxic relationships require complete removal. This is especially true when the other person refuses to change their behavior or continues to harm you despite your efforts to address the issues. Ending a toxic relationship is not easy, especially if it involves someone you care deeply about. It may involve grief, guilt, or fear of the unknown. But remember, letting go of toxicity opens the door for healthier connections and opportunities to thrive. Forgiveness plays a vital role in this process, not for their sake, but for yours. Forgiving someone who has hurt you does not mean condoning their behavior or allowing them back into your life. It means releasing the anger, resentment, and bitterness that weigh you down. Forgiveness is an act of liberation. It frees your heart to heal and move forward without carrying the baggage of past pain. Surround yourself with relationships that nurture your growth and well-being. Seek connections with people who encourage, inspire, and challenge you to become the best version of yourself. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, trust, and love. They bring out your strengths, celebrate your successes, and support you in times of difficulty. Deleting toxic relationships is not just about cutting ties, it is about reclaiming your power and prioritizing your purpose. You were not created to live in bondage to negativity. You have a destiny to fulfill, and you need people in your life who will walk with you, not against you. Take the step today to evaluate, set boundaries, and let go of what no longer serves you. You deserve peace, joy, and relationships that reflect the greatness within you. Excuses are the silent killers of dreams. They disguise themselves as rational explanations, providing a comfortable way to avoid accountability and action. But beneath every excuse lies fear, doubt, or a lack of commitment. Excuses create a barrier between where you are and where you want to be, locking you in a cycle of stagnation. To delete excuses from your life, you must confront their roots, take responsibility for your choices, and embrace a mindset of action and determination. Excuses often stem from fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown. They become a shield to protect us from potential disappointment or embarrassment. Instead of trying and risking failure, it feels safer to create a narrative about why something isn't possible. But this safety is an illusion. Every excuse delays your progress and robs you of opportunities to grow, learn, and achieve. Fear cannot be conquered by avoidance, it is conquered by avoidance. The first step to deleting excuses is to recognize them as manifestations of fear and choose courage over comfort. Excuses also arise from a victim mentality, a mindset that blames external circumstances for lack of progress. It's easy to point to a lack of time, resources, or support as reasons why something can't be done. While circumstances may present challenges, they are rarely insurmountable. History is filled with stories of people who overcame adversity to achieve greatness. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of obstacles, but the refusal to let those obstacles define them. When you take ownership of your life and choices, you reclaim your power to change your circumstances. Another common source of excuses is perfectionism. Many people hesitate to start something because they feel unprepared or fear they won't do it perfectly. But perfection is an illusion that keeps you trapped in inaction. The truth is, no one starts as an expert. Every master was once a beginner. Progress comes from starting where you are with what you have and improving along the way. Waiting for the perfect time or perfect conditions only ensures that you never begin. To delete excuses, embrace imperfection, and focus on consistent effort rather than flawless execution. Procrastination is closely tied to excuses. It allows you to rationalize delaying action by convincing yourself that you'll do it later. But procrastination is a thief. It steals your time and opportunities while giving you nothing in return. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to take the first step. To break this cycle, commit to acting immediately, even in small ways. Progress, no matter how small, creates momentum and silences the excuses that keep you idle. Excuses also thrive in the presence of comparison. When you measure your abilities or progress against others, it's easy to feel inadequate and justify why you shouldn't try. But comparison is a distraction from your unique journey. You are not competing with anyone else. Your only competition is with who you were yesterday. Focus on your growth, not on measuring up to someone else's accomplishments. Deleting excuses requires shifting your perspective from comparison to self-improvement. Accountability is a powerful tool for eliminating excuses. When you surround yourself with people who challenge you to stay true to your goals, it becomes harder to justify inaction. Share your aspirations with someone you trust and ask them to hold you accountable. Knowing that someone is watching your progress creates a sense of responsibility and reduces the temptation to make excuses. Replacing excuses with solutions is a transformative mindset shift. Instead of focusing on why something can't be done, ask yourself how it can be done. This approach trains your mind to think creatively and resourcefully. Obstacles become challenges to overcome rather than reasons to give up. Solutions-oriented thinking empowers you to take control of your circumstances and move closer to your goals. Remind yourself of your why. Excuses often take root when your motivation weakens. Revisiting the reason behind your goals reignites your determination. What drives you? What impact do you want to make? When your purpose is clear, it becomes easier to push past excuses and stay focused on what truly matters. Deleting excuses is not a one-time decision, it is a daily practice. Every day you will encounter moments where excuses tempt you to take the easy way out. In those moments, remind yourself of your power to choose action over inaction, progress over stagnation, and courage over fear. Excuses may offer temporary comfort, but they lead to long-term regret. Action, on the other hand, leads to growth, fulfillment, and the realization of your potential. You have within you everything you need to succeed. The only thing standing in your way is the excuses you allow to linger. Decide today to delete them and watch as doors of opportunity and achievement open wide. Procrastination is one of the greatest enemies of progress. It hides behind justifications like "I'll do it later" or "I work better under pressure." But in reality, it is a thief of time, opportunities, and dreams. Procrastination delays action, creates unnecessary stress, and keeps you from reaching your full potential. To delete procrastination from your life, you must recognize its roots, challenge your habits, and replace it with a mindset of intentionality and discipline. Procrastination often begins with small decisions, delaying a task until tomorrow, putting off a responsibility for another time, or convincing yourself that you need more preparation before starting. These choices may seem harmless at first, but over time, they accumulate into a habit that erodes productivity. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time to act. Waiting for the right moment is a convenient excuse to avoid discomfort. Deleting procrastination requires embracing the present as the only time you truly have to make progress. One common cause of procrastination is the fear of failure. When a task feels overwhelming or uncertain, it's tempting to avoid it altogether. Fear convinces you that by delaying action, you are avoiding the possibility of making mistakes or falling short. However, the reality is that inaction itself is a form of failure. Progress comes not from perfection, but from persistence. Each small step you take, even if imperfect, moves you closer to your goal. Overcoming procrastination means confronting the fear of failure and choosing action despite it. Another root of procrastination is perfectionism. Many people delay tasks because they feel unprepared or believe they cannot meet their own high standards. This mindset traps you in a cycle of inaction as you wait for conditions to align perfectly before starting. But perfection is an illusion, and waiting for it only ensures that you remain stuck. The key to deleting procrastination is shifting your focus from achieving perfection to making progress. Start where you are with what you have, and trust that growth will come through consistent effort. Distractions are another major contributor to procrastination. In a world filled with endless notifications, entertainment, and competing demands for your attention, it's easy to lose focus. Procrastination often disguises itself as harmless diversions, checking your phone, scrolling through social media, or engaging in tasks that feel productive but aren't priorities. To combat this, create an environment that supports focus. Eliminate distractions, set clear boundaries, and prioritize your time for the tasks that truly matter. By taking control of your environment, you take a significant step toward overcoming procrastination. Procrastination is also fueled by a lack of clarity. When a goal or task feels vague or undefined, it's hard to know where to start. The uncertainty can lead to avoidance as your mind struggles to find direction. To delete procrastination, break your goals into specific, actionable steps. Instead of saying, "I need to write a report," define the first step as outline the main points of the report clear. Manageable steps reduce overwhelm and make it easier to begin. Accountability is a powerful antidote to procrastination. When you share your goals with someone you trust, it creates a sense of responsibility to follow through. Find an accountability partner who will encourage you, check in on your progress, and challenge you to stay committed. Knowing that someone is counting on you can provide the motivation needed to take action, even when it's difficult. Time management is also essential in overcoming procrastination. Use tools like schedules, to-do lists, or time blocking to allocate specific periods for tasks. Prioritize the most important tasks first and tackle them early in the day when your energy and focus are at their peak. Avoid the trap of multitasking, which can lead to scattered effort and incomplete work. By managing your time effectively, you can eliminate the excuses that fuel procrastination. Another critical step is shifting your mindset. View procrastination as a habit, not a permanent trait. Habits can be changed with intentional effort and consistency. Replace thoughts like "I'll do it later" with affirmations such as "I am capable of doing this now." Celebrate small wins along the way to reinforce your progress and build momentum. Reconnect with your purpose. Procrastination often arises when a task feels disconnected from your goals or values. Remind yourself why the task is important and how it contributes to your larger vision. When you focus on the outcome and the impact of your actions, it becomes easier to find the motivation to start. Purpose fuels perseverance, and perseverance is the antidote to procrastination. Deleting procrastination is not about eliminating all moments of delay, but about changing your default response to tasks and challenges. Each time you choose action over avoidance, you strengthen the discipline needed to stay consistent. The time to start is not tomorrow, next week, or someday. It's now. Your potential, your goals, and your dreams are worth more than the temporary comfort of procrastination. Choose action today and watch as your life transforms. Unforgiveness is a heavy burden that many carry, often without realizing the toll it takes on their lives. Holding on to grudges, resentment, and past hurts may feel justified in the moment, but it is ultimately self-destructive. Unforgiveness is not a weapon against those who wronged you. It is a prison that traps your heart and limits your potential. To delete unforgiveness, you must confront the pain, understand the power of release, and embrace forgiveness as a path to freedom, healing, and growth. Unforgiveness often feels like a form of control. When someone has hurt you deeply, holding on to anger can seem like a way to maintain power over the situation. You may think, if I forgive them, it's as though what they did doesn't matter. But forgiveness is not about condoning the offense or forgetting the pain. It is about releasing yourself from the emotional and spiritual chains that bind you to that moment. When you hold on to unforgiveness, you allow the person who hurt you to continue influencing your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Forgiveness is a decision to reclaim your power and break free from their control. The weight of unforgiveness is profound. It consumes your mental and emotional energy, often spilling into other areas of your life. Unforgiveness breeds bitterness, which acts like a poison, slowly eroding your joy, peace, and ability to trust. Over time, it creates walls around your heart, making it harder to form meaningful connections with others. Relationships suffer, and you may find yourself replaying old wounds instead of living fully in the present. Deleting unforgiveness is not just about the past, it's about preserving your future. Unforgiveness also affects your physical and mental health. Studies have shown that harboring resentment can lead to increased stress, high blood pressure, anxiety, and even depression. The constant replay of negative emotions triggers your body's stress response, keeping you in a state of tension and unease. Forgiveness, on the other hand, has been linked to improved mental health, reduced stress, and even physical healing. By letting go of unforgiveness, you are not only freeing your heart, but also taking a step toward better health and well-being. Forgiveness begins with acknowledging the pain. It's important to validate your emotions and recognize the hurt you've experienced. Forgiveness does not mean pretending the pain didn't happen or minimizing the impact of someone's actions. It is a courageous decision to face the wound, process it, and then release it. This process may take time, and that's okay. Healing is not instant, but each step you take toward forgiveness is a step closer to freedom. Forgiveness is not dependent on an apology or reconciliation. Many people delay forgiveness, waiting for the offender to express remorse or make amends. But what if that apology never comes? Holding on to unforgiveness only keeps you bound to their actions. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself independent of the other person's response. It's about finding peace within yourself, regardless of whether the relationship is restored. One of the greatest misconceptions about forgiveness is that it requires forgetting. While time may dull the memory of the pain, forgiveness does not erase the lessons learned. It allows you to move forward with wisdom and strength, using the experience to grow rather than to remain stuck. Forgiveness empowers you to reclaim your narrative, turning a story of hurt into a testimony of resilience. Letting go of unforgiveness often involves shifting your perspective. Instead of focusing on what was taken from you, reflect on what you have gained. Every challenge holds the potential to shape you into a stronger, wiser person. Forgiveness is not about weakness. It is a testament to your strength and willingness to rise above the hurt. By choosing forgiveness, you refuse to let the past define your present or dictate your future. Forgiveness also brings spiritual liberation. Holding on to unforgiveness blocks you from fully experiencing peace, joy, and love. It hinders your ability to connect with your purpose and live authentically. Letting go of unforgiveness allows you to align with a higher purpose and opens the door to blessings and opportunities that were previously blocked by resentment. Deleting unforgiveness does not mean the journey will be easy, but it will always be worth it. Begin today by identifying the areas of your heart where unforgiveness lingers. Acknowledge the pain, choose to release it, and embrace forgiveness as an act of self-love and liberation. Remember, forgiveness is not a favor to the one who hurt you. It is a gift you give yourself. When you let go of unforgiveness, you make room for peace, healing, and a brighter future filled with the freedom to live and love fully. The past, with all its triumphs and trials, is a part of who you are. Yet when you cling to it too tightly, whether through regret, guilt, or longing, it can become a barrier to living fully in the present and pursuing your future. Deleting the past doesn't mean erasing it or forgetting what happened. It means letting go of its hold on you. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of what was, so you can embrace the possibilities of what could be. The past can often feel like a shadow, following you everywhere and influencing your thoughts, actions, and decisions. Mistakes you've made, opportunities you've missed, or pain you've endured can replay in your mind like a broken record. While reflecting on the past can provide valuable lessons, dwelling on it keeps you stuck in a cycle of what-ifs. Regret and guilt anchor you to moments you cannot change, robbing you of the energy and focus needed to shape your present and future. Deleting the past starts with recognizing that no amount of overthinking or rehashing will alter what has already happened. One of the biggest challenges in letting go of the past is the emotional attachment it holds. Painful experiences especially leave deep imprints on your heart and mind. Betrayals, losses, and failures can feel like scars that define your identity. However, your past is not your identity. It is only a chapter in the story of your life, not the entire narrative. Choosing to delete the past is an act of reclaiming your story and refusing to let old wounds dictate your present or limit your future. The past can also be a source of comfort, even when it is not positive. Familiarity often feels safer than uncertainty. People sometimes hold on to memories of a better time or relationships that are no longer serving them simply because letting go feels too painful or unfamiliar. But clinging to what no longer exists can blind you to the opportunities and blessings of the present. Growth requires change, and change requires releasing the grip on what was. By deleting the past, you open yourself to the new experiences and relationships waiting to enrich your life. Forgiveness plays a critical role in releasing the past. This includes forgiving others for the wrongs they have done to you and forgiving yourself for the mistakes you have made. Carrying anger, resentment, or self-blame ties you to the moments that cause the pain. Forgiveness is not about condoning the hurt or excusing poor behavior. It is about liberating yourself from the emotional chains that bind you to those moments. Forgiveness allows you to heal and move forward without carrying the burdens of yesterday. Letting go of the past also involves shifting your focus to the present. The present moment is the only place where life truly happens. It's where you have the power to make choices, take action, and create change. When you dwell on the past, you miss out on the richness of the now. Practice mindfulness by grounding yourself in the present moment, appreciating what you have, and focusing on what you can do today to move closer to your goals. The past is over, the future is uncertain, the present is your gift to shape. Another essential step is reframing how you see your past. Instead of viewing it as a series of mistakes or failures, see it as a collection of lessons. Every experience, whether joyful or painful, has contributed to your growth and shaped the person you are today. Deleting the past doesn't mean disregarding its lessons. It means honoring them while refusing to be defined or limited by them. Use the wisdom you've gained to navigate your present and create a better future. Deleting the past may also require a deliberate effort to release physical or symbolic reminders of it. Let go of possessions, habits, or environments that anchor you to old patterns. Surround yourself with people, activities, and settings that align with the person you are becoming. This act of physical and emotional decluttering creates space for new beginnings. Remember that deleting the past is a process, not a one-time decision. Healing and growth take time, and it's natural to occasionally revisit old memories. The key is to acknowledge them without letting them control you. Each time you choose to focus on the present and future instead of the past, you strengthen your ability to let go. Deleting the past is not about forgetting where you came from. It's about freeing yourself to go where you're meant to be. Release the regrets, forgive the hurts, and let go of what no longer serves you. Your past is a teacher, not a master. The power to shape your life lies in your hands, and it starts with letting go of yesterday to embrace the possibilities of today and the promises of tomorrow.